Well, hello, RSGers, and welcome to The Bunker. Usually on Friday nights, but we're doing a special Sunday night stream. Thank you for joining us. I know it's an odd time. We're just, we've had a long week. Finn is actually moving. So Finn actually moved into a new apartment. So he was doing that, and I was out of town all weekend, just rolled into the house. So we decided to do a Sunday night stream rather than miss a stream this week. Since we missed so much during Christmas break and stuff, we don't like to go that long without seeing you guys and talking with Delete. So we are here again for The Bunker on Sunday night special stream. Not going to be too long. There's not a whole lot going on games to talk about. So we're just going to kind of chit chat, talk about SVS a little bit, maybe a couple other things. But we also have a fun giveaway. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll introduce myself. I'm T McVenom, and I'm from 125 and 359, and this is Delete. Delete's from 125. Hi. And then we have Finity down here, and he is from 359. We may have a couple other people pop in. I'm not sure. It might just be us three. It's Sunday night, family night, so who knows what'll happen. But thank you guys for tuning in. We have... Just going to do a quick shout out to who's in chat. We have Lonely X. Wait, on a Sunday? Yep, we did it on a Sunday. Sniper Demon, HK47. Dude, haven't seen that name in a while. Wow, that's a old school RSGer, right, Finn? HK47?
That's a droid.
No, I meant like the username. He used to watch Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes streams. Letty, you sus little thing. Froggy IP, Delete's in there. Sin's in there. Let's see, Sin. Eric B. Thanks you guys for tuning in. Yeah, so Finn, should we go ahead and tell about the giveaway, or should we wait?
You know what we should talk about first?
What?
Is Letty is saying that it's 23 p.m. where she is. So it's like 11 p.m. where she is.
Is it really?
That's yeah, it's pretty late.
It's dedication,
you know, yeah, I know. But you know what would really help with her to watch the stream?
Finn.
Zombie Coffee.
Oh my
gosh. That's right, Zombie Coffee, official sponsor of RSG, promoted by Delete. There you go. Get yourself some Zombie Coffee.
So,
available in Columbia, South Carolina, and in Athens, Georgia.
Yeah.
See, I kept it short this time.
You kept it short. I appreciate it. You guys can find them on Facebook. Gosh, what is it with the Bunker and Facebook?
Okay, the stream is ending on that. We have to just end the stream on that.
Facebook. Find them on Facebook.
That's why we do it right there. That is exactly why we do it.
Stop. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I should just give up. Anyway, find them on Facebook. Just search Zombie Coffee and Donuts in Athens or Zombie Coffee and Donuts in Columbia. And you guys, just when you do, shoot them a message and tell them the RSG sent you, and support the sponsors that sponsor us. We would appreciate
Yes, Froggy, that is a real zombie company. That is Zombie Coffee Company. It is legit. They are sponsoring us. So we have it there, and I'm trying to make sure it works. Exclamation sponsor in chat should give you a link, I think, if the bot is working. I have to check to see if it's working or not.
Yeah.
But if it's working, it'll pin the link. I'm going to work on that right now. But
I can tell you the one that I have is the medium roast dark chocolate and citrus, and it is absolutely delicious. I can't wait to try some of the other ones, but that's the one they sent me, and it was so good.
That's what I got.
That's the one I got? Yeah. Okay.
And my wife was like, "Oh, dark chocolate citrus." I know. And then she was just like, "How do we get more of this?" So
it's honestly at first you're like, "Oh, I don't know if I would like that," but it really is really good. I enjoyed it a lot. But Zombie Finn is not making an appearance.
Zombie Finn got yelled at last time by McVenom, and Zombie Finn is afraid of McVenom.
We might let him make an appearance here and there, but not like every time. Finn gets too into character, and we'll go for an hour in Zombie Finn. He just enjoys being a zombie that much. So
hey, the short commercial. You know, we don't need the full 1 minute 20. You can do the 15.
15 seconds is good.
I think
It's
Zombie
solid.
Finn did a good job introducing the
He
product.
did. That was our first time. I do appreciate that, Finn. So,
Oh,
do you want to talk about our
Not
giveaway?
me. It was Zombie Finn, not me. I'm
Oh
regular.
my goodness. Do you want to talk about our giveaway?
Sure. So later in the stream, so you guys be ready for it, we are going to be giving away an RSG logo hoodie. So I've worn it on stream before. You guys have probably seen it. It is the gray one with the RSG logo on it, like McVenom has on the screen. Mm-hmm. We are going to be giving away one to somebody in chat. So what's going to happen is we are going to be asking you guys to type a word in chat at a particular time for a short amount of time. We will tell you when it's being cut off. We will then randomly select one person to win, and they will get in contact with McVenom on Discord. We'll confirm that it's you if there's any question. Because if we recognize your name and we know who it is on Discord, it's easy. If it's not, we'll confirm it through YouTube and all that. But we'll get your address and we will order you a RSG hoodie for the giveaway.
Yeah.
So just be ready for that. We'll give that away sometime.
And I have a black one, but I feel like the gray is fire. The gray just looks, it hits different.
The black one is a different one. So the black one has the RSG team on there. That's also available on the Zazzle store, but the logo is on the gray.
Yeah. We should probably throw up, I think it's in our description, the Zazzle store with all of our
Zazzle
RSG,
store is in the description.
Gear and stuff, which I'm excited about. We are going to be making some bunker items too. Bunker hat, bunker hoodie. So that'll be fun to get going for you guys and maybe do some giveaways one day. We'll see. But yeah, no, Finn. Delete is saying banana. Frosty, I was supposed to wait.
Delete's not eligible. I'm just throwing that out there too.
He gets one because he's a panel member. He's going to get one anyway. So he doesn't get to win the free one. Come on.
We're ordering you a child small though, so if it fits, it fits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So you have to just deal with the child small. I wanted to show just a
little bit of his belly when he stands up.
It'd be a neck warmer, child small. It'd be like a solid neck warmer.
Like midriff delete.
Midriff delete.
That's basically what you were asking for. You basically asked for midriff delete.
Right there.
HK47 said it's 3 a.m. there. Mm-hmm. I know where HK47 is. Oh my gosh. He's in Discord.
It's 3 a.m. there.
Yes, he gives me great info. He's constantly like, hey, did you see this new thing coming out? Did you see what's going on with this in our state? He's awesome. Thanks, dude. I knew that name seemed familiar and I couldn't remember where it was from. It's from Discord. You're awesome. I appreciate you.
He's from Holland.
He is from Holland, and he's 3 a.m. So we appreciate you tuning in. Let's see who else. Sin said, "My face Burke replaces bird. Completely wiped out bird. Nothing wipes out shield or bird.
No,
ever.
Shield or bird.
I will remember shield or bird until I die. That was the funniest thing I've ever heard."
It might be on my tombstone.
It may on mine too. Shield or bird.
Shield or bird.
Welcome to the burger.
Is that what it's going to be? It's going to be shield or bird, and then we'll just cremate you and say, and he bird.
She bird.
Yeah.
She didn't shield, and she bird.
Well, that's what we'll do. We'll get you. We'll cremate you. We'll put you in an urn, and in the urn, it'll say shield or bird, and here he bird.
Yeah. Hey. From the afterlife, I will not be upset about that whatsoever.
Yeah. So guys, I think Finn, you'll just surprise us when the time is, and we'll say what would be I'll just shout out a word, and everybody can put it in maybe halfway through the stream. Again, tonight's not going to be a really long one because it is Sunday night. Everyone's working tomorrow morning, so we understand that. So we'll kind of keep it just casual. We'll talk a little bit about the game, but we'll shout that out a little bit later. Should I go ahead and put out a code, or are we waiting till the end?
Yeah, let's go put out the first code, and then we'll put the other one out.
So the first code for tonight is Emmy. EMMY. You guys make sure that you get your codes in. I think that one's good. You know what? I haven't even done it. So
it is.
It's good. How much is it for?
So it is for 1,000 bios and 1 advanced search map.
Nice. Very nice.
There you go. As they're all being distracted. Now, if you guys are not sure where to put in your gift code, go into the game, click on your portrait in the top left.
Oh,
then you click on settings, and then you go to gift redemption and type in said code. You will want to remember this not only for the codes that we're providing you, but the ones that the SOS folks are providing on their Discord as well. So make sure you know how to put in your gift code. So there you go.
Don't miss out. And don't post it anywhere else.
Yes.
This is for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
This is you.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my 5K viewer up so I can actually show everybody where it's at.
It's going to take more time to do that than it is for them to type in the code.
I still want to have some gameplay up, Finn.
Okay. Just leave the hoodie up.
Wait, you don't want to see my gameplay? You don't want to see how long it's been since I have logged in?
Yeah, I'm sad. Mine reset for the first time. I think I had like 176 straight days, and then I had to move, and then I missed a day. So I'm back to 1.
There we go.
334 consecutive days.
You have no life, sir.
I think the only thing I've done for 334 consecutive days is probably go to the bathroom. That's about it.
That's when you play. I mean,
yeah,
that's pretty much what it is.
I think it's only the bathroom.
Sin, what is my power at? My power is currently at 92.3 mil.
Solid.
Apex just hit Plasma 5.
Yes. Apex did get to Plasma 5.
What the heck? Apex.
Whoa.
Apex was killing it in SVS too. Delete, you would have a blast with Apex. I'm not kidding. You would just enjoy him. He's fun to watch.
Nice job.
Where is he at? There he is. Look at that nice city that's being covered up by the RSG bulletin board. But that's still cool, man.
5 stars, dude.
Zoom out a little, and it should.
There we go.
I'll give a shout out to State 160. What up? Post where you're at. I'll definitely post a shout out to you guys.
Oh, State 160, the Tyrant. That name's a little sketchy. I bet you're fun to play with. But yeah, thank you, Guy. Thank you for hanging out with us. We appreciate that. So, what do we think? Delete. How was your fun in SVS this past? I know you had a lot of fun.
I did. For the first time that I can remember, I was base hitting. I was literally base hitting because my 120 law was so active I couldn't actually get into the tower. Mm-hmm. And we were assigned 1 tower, so I decided to go ahead and base it. And that's not something that I typically do at all. And then I was there was one alliance in particular that were extremely angry. Very angry at me. Posting in state chat and stuff like that, and that did not help them at all. But I was very nice. I only hit people once. I made them vanish. I was calling myself Houdini, just making settlements completely disappear. And it was my highest ranking in an SBS in, I don't even know, I think I finished like 4th place. Not being in a tower, just completely obliterating alliances that were thinking and sending recons and thinking about attacking us, and it was pretty fun. But it was only fun because I knew that they would only lose about 10%. It wasn't like all their losses were like turning into absolute zeros. It was literally they would only lose a little bit, and I was like, hey man, it's just SBS, relax. I was like, revive and you'll be good. Invite your farms. I was like coaching them on how to recoup. And they were still like, shut up, bad word.
Star. Yeah, Apex said he was having the same problem, that he had the same thing happen to him. He's getting so much hate mail. But you know what the fun thing about SVS is, though, is that is the one time that you can be kind of a meanie. Because it's not against your own state, because in your own state, you don't want to be the bad guy. You don't want to be picking on people. But in SVS, you can really just do whatever you want against another state because they're technically the enemy, So it's fun. I had a blast in 359. I had a blast in 125, but I don't do anything in 125 except I'm the I'm the like mascot cheerleader healer. And then sometimes I'll play trap. Delete will send me some troops and we'll try to egg some people on into hitting me, which is always fun. But they've caught on to the game now. They don't really do that as much now. But yeah, I had a blast doing it. Apex had a lot of fun too. Yeah, let us know in chat how you guys did, how you felt about this past SBS. Was there any hang-ups that you didn't like? Was there anything that you wish they'd change with the SBS? Finn, how did you enjoy it? You didn't get to play that much.
No, I did a lot actually in SBS, but the thing is, it's different, right? So our alliance, I mean, when Apex is on, it's different because then and Apex and Moz, we have a Plasma 3 and a Plasma 4, so it's a little bit different. So as Plasma 4 at the time, now Apex is Plasma 5. But when Moz and Apex are on, it's a little bit different. Otherwise, it's like Plasma 1s trying to figure out who has the best stats attacking towers, trying to get the points for the most part. I wish there was more incentive to attack bases for people.
Like res?
The fact that well, no, not even just that. Even for Capital Clash itself, right? Because Capital Clash overlaps with the SVS. We had the issue, we were talking about it, where SVS, so I did something intentionally just to kind of test something out. So we were attacking towers because we needed the capital points, right? Because attacking settlements in SVS, for SVS doesn't get you capital points. So you have to be attacking the towers or the actual capital. So that's what we were attacking. Your rate of getting points for the SVS event, though, for Warfare is extremely low with that. So during that entire time, I think I accumulated something like 600,000 points or something, right? But then later on, McVenom and I had fun because we had some invaders that were still there, and I tagged McVenom, and she was just going around hitting those bases and that kind of stuff. I intentionally let one of the guys like hit me. Like I let him like hit me, and I took losses and stuff, which was fine. But from that one hit, I went from like 600,000 to like about like 4 million points because of all the kills that happened of my troops. So I'm like, with one hit on my base, I got every single thing I needed for SVS versus intentionally trying to help, hitting towers, like I was trying to coordinate and do it. I got like almost nothing for SVS. So the point system between Capital Clash and SVS, I think, needs to be somehow fixed. Like, I understand there's like two different systems, but if there's not an incentive to do like one or the other, like if you have to do one, and we had this issue strategy-wise, which I know you're going to talk about, but if everyone is attacking the capital or the towers, you're leaving settlements there, and non-high level alliances don't have the troops and the hospital space to spare, because the Capital Clash rewards are pretty important compared to the SVS ones, because you need those badges and those berets and all that. So it's just one of those things where it's like, I wish that the point system worked better between Capital Clash and SVS, because I think that's to me was the biggest thing, because as you're seeing more and more competitive players, and I'm at least Plasma 1, so I have things that can at least compete. I want to be able to at least get points in both of them. Luckily, my hospital is big enough that I can do rallies and still handle it. But not everyone is able to do that. So that was my biggest thing, is that I think they need to work on the point systems between Warfare and Capital Clash and have them kind of mesh a little bit more.
Yeah, I 100% agree that there needs to be, because we have that struggle in every state where it's like you have the top 3 alliances that are really the main competitors in state versus state. And then the other teams are just kind of left in like wondering what to do, or contributing their top players to go over into like a conglomerate, or like, a consolidation alliance. But then you don't really know what to do to get points other than attack bases. But like you said, it's kind of a scary situation trying to go into another state and attack bases, or trying to attack bases at the capital when you don't really know. Everybody's got a jammer on. It's kind of just a weird situation as far as like, if you're not exactly a high spender or over plasma player, what do you do during SVS? So it would be cool if they would put something else in there for points, whether that be, raining. You get points for raining in a different way than other than somebody attack. You know what I'm saying? Points for killing troops, but just points for actually being active and doing it. I don't really know how to do it. We'll have to think more about like what are some ways. Maybe we'll think about some suggestions of what they could do, but I don't know, something about helping the state more. I don't know.
I think something that I was like kicking around in my brain is like the further you are out march wise, maybe your points increase. Like if you've got like a 5-minute march as opposed to a 3-minute march or a 30-second march, your points should increase because it's that much tougher for you to actually go ahead and like reign and basically play the game when you're further out, even though it's a strategy to keep people further away. There should be something that kind of makes it up if you can't get closer.
So that would be interesting because you changed completely the whole dynamic of the way we play SVS right now because everybody's battling and trying to crush in on the capital. I wonder how much it would change to move people because it would give people more incentive to stay outside of the boundaries.
Further out.
And then only the ones who don't really give a crap about points, they're just there to win SVS would be the ones in the center. That would be interesting, actually. That's not a bad idea, Delete. It would be some...
Every now and then.
I'll say my strategy, and I've told this to the RSG Alliance, like when we've gone, whether we had to go into another state or whether we did it from our own, there's no point if you're actually looking for points only to going into the gray space. You're just asking to be attacked and then ported randomly somewhere.
Yeah, especially just go right on the outside. Yeah,
exactly. Like if it's in your own state, just send a long rally from your base. If you're moving to the enemy territory, just go outside of the gray space and do it. Like the gray space is interesting because it really should be where the most competitive are or the people that are bubbling. Like if you're just doing it for points, there's no reason for you to be in the gray space. Mm-mm. You're just going to cause more problems than anything, especially if you're not going to stay bubbled. And I know we'll talk about that. So you're better off just attacking from outside. Like I don't know why so many people think that they have to be in the gray space to attack. Like that rally time is not. It's a 6-hour minimum event, right? Because somebody holds it for like 6 hours, then you're good. But
the marches, we had a 15-minute march, wasn't it? I think it was like a 15-minute march from our base in 359, right, Finn?
A little bit more than, but by the time that you went there and came back, like you had, those troops were not available for like 40 minutes. Yeah. So, but it's like, who cares? We have 6 hours in order to get these marches. In the meantime, we have to heal up. So if you're not doing it to like, if you're just doing it for points, you're so much better off not even being in the gray space.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that people need to be aware of too. Like the gray space is nice, but only for the really competitive ones that are able to hold their own in that area. Otherwise, you are a liability to your state.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, we've got to figure out, I think in order for the because SVS is so much fun for so many people, and then for other people, it's just very lackluster where they spend the whole time just bubbled. So I feel like they really do need to kind of like, before they even do the merging, like they're still working on the merging, but this is something that they could do just for the time being, just to make it more enjoyable for everybody. Just to, I don't know, figure something out with that. But, so yeah, you brought up a good point, Finn, about the bubble staying bubbled. Our issue, we were talking about SVS and some of the things that we liked and didn't like and how our SVS went. We tried the conglomerate. What do we call that? Is it Consolidation Alliance? What is it?
Yeah.
The Empire? Because it's not the Republic. It would be
what is it called? A Super Alliance. Do you know what I'm talking about? When you take everybody, all the strongest people from the state, and you pile them into one alliance.
Yeah.
And that's what
the dream team.
Yes, like a dream team for SVS. And that actually worked fairly well. I have issues with it long term, but I think when you're losing SVS a lot and you just need some kind of win just to pick up everybody's spirits in the state, it's probably a good idea to try to do something like that. And we did it, and it worked fairly well. Our big issue in 359 was that the plan was for everybody to put, block off around the capital so that, our big guys could stay around it, but people would port their farm alliances in and then let the bubble die. and then they would just make spots. They would just, of course, port those out with a hit, and then they've got a prime spot right there at the Capitol. And that was our big fall, because once that started happening, they were getting in there, they could start attacking people easier while they were sending out rallies and stuff, and it was just a bit chaotic after that. What do you think, Finn? You think that was the biggest problem with our SVS?
That is a big problem. Once the strategy worked well, we did really well. There is a lot of benefit to the conglomerate alliance, because then your entire state's strongest people can work together, because it is the alliance that holds the most time, right?
Yeah.
So if you have multiple alliances, that splits that up potentially between them. If they're not extremely coordinated, you also have the chance of friendly fire sometimes if it doesn't work out. So the consolidated, I thought the consolidated alliance worked out really well. I thought strategy wise it worked really well until we started to have those bubbles drop, and that was ultimately the downfall.
Yeah.
I think something that could be done though, because I think this is interesting. And delete, it's kind of a piggyback off of your idea, which is just like trying to find a way to get everyone involved, like McVenom was saying. I think you could do something where you do something almost similar to like Reservoir Raid, let's say, where your alliance registers for one of the three areas: Oasis, Plains, or Wastelands. And you can fight over the centers in order to give your state an advantage if you hold the centers. So if you're a lesser alliance, you go to the Wasteland and try to fight one of the Wasteland ones, right? And you can only hold one of them. Let's just say you can only have one center. So even if, let's say, you're one of the top alliances and you decide, oh, well, I'm going to try and hold the center that's in the Plains area, you pick the Plains, you're still only holding one center as an alliance. So as alliance-wide, you can hold one during SVS. It gets returned back to the original owner, and you can get your state bonuses. I think that would be a way to incorporate everyone, because then people register.
That is genius to actually pull in the centers, the facilities, and the bunkers in the state that you're fighting with to actually give points for the lower guys to fight those.
Yeah.
And it takes some of the heat. It would change the dynamic of people fighting in the center too, because like, do all the bigs focus on the center, or they have to divide up? So then you have fighting chances for some of the 10 through 15 alliances to fight some of those big guys. Oh my gosh, that's genius, Vin.
Yeah. If they opened up, if it was just complete anarchy and it was like all 12 bunkers and 4 facilities, Capitol and Towers had a different benefit to them all, whether it be attack bonus, overall attack bonus, infantry, rider, hunter, so on and so forth, it would definitely disparage or like basically separate the power enough where everyone had a piece. You know, it would be tough to organize, but that would be the beauty of it.
Yes.
Because a team, the state that actually did completely organize it would benefit.
Well, then you could delegate it to smaller, like 10 through 15 ranks alliance. You could say, okay, you guys are focusing on this bunker, and you guys are focusing on this bunker. If you need help, you would coordinate with some of the higher alliances, but you could really get the whole state more involved that way. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's it, Finn. That's pretty clever. That's a good way to incorporate the whole state. Devs, if you're listening, think about that, because I love that idea. And especially in the newer states, when you have centers, you have facilities and bunkers, and you have centers to really dabble in for the lower levels. You know what you could do to even make it more accessible to everybody in the state is to have like certain centers or bunkers that are only like levels of this, like ranks through this rank can apply for this one, or can get points for this one, versus, you know, the big guy coming in and swooping and taking all of them and holding them. You could actually say, you know, rank out the facilities and the bunkers and stuff so that only certain alliances can apply for it. Or would it be alliances or power? Because then you'd have people switching around in alliances.
If you make it so that an alliance only holds one period, you can only hold one bunker, one facility, or one center, right? Then even if the big guy goes to one of the lesser things, that they can only hold one. They're not going to be able to hold all of them, right? So that's the whole point.
True, yeah. So even if a big guy got in there, he couldn't hold a bunch of them,
Yeah, and if I'm sending out my secondary march, you know, and someone else sends out their primary march, like in Res Raid, like I can hold a lot of things, but my secondary heroes don't have the stats of my primary. So, you know, everything fills up, filters down. So then, my number 2 in my alliance is supposed to be like my strongest rally filler, or my battering ram that kind of like half breaks the door and I kind of completely shatter it, becomes a different player, and now I've got to have more people on that just aren't pushing health. They're back into playing, which is huge because there's so many people that are just like, I'm only here to tap health, and it's like, sorry, and it's like, it's okay, I don't mind it, I'm here to help,
but they're
like
really
kind
bored
of thing.
out of their minds and wanting to do something, they can't do it. So this is honestly probably one of the better ideas I think we've had on Bunker to bring in, like, I think this is a great idea.
For devs, it's probably a cash multiple, because now you have people that may potentially spend on healing. You have people that are potentially spending on quickening marches, so on and so forth. More people buying packs or even just actively pursuing it. So very, very good idea.
The good thing too would be, as far as state unity, where like what we see a lot in states is where it's always like, oh, well, we won this because of these people, and it's always the top strongest. Or we lost this because the top strongest didn't do this or didn't do that, or the rest of the state didn't help out or whatever. But if you had this, you could actually point out if there was some kind of point calibration where it was like, or even if those gave time for the total hold. You know what I'm saying? So then it had time breakdowns for which alliance was contributing time towards the total time held or total points. So that alliances could actually say, well, we did our part, we were doing this, we were holding this bunker, and this contributed this to it. And then you actually have the whole community could shout out each alliance and say, this is who held a lot of, that's a great idea, Finn. I think they should really, really think about this one, because it's like Froggy is in there saying we have a dying state now. Things like this would be great for a dying state, because a lot of times the reason why states die is because of inactivity, and inactivity is due to, like, there's this huge power gap and people get bored and they switch to a new state because they can have that fresh feeling of being active and participating and having a fun feeling in a new state where they're relevant. Being relevant is so important when you want to be in this game. Oh my gosh, I love that idea. See, that's what we need to do, start generating these kinds of ideas for them. Delete, what did you see in your state in 125? What was the things that you enjoyed the most? What was the tactic that, I don't know if you can give away. You guys are high level. 125 is high level.
125, I mean, the biggest thing in 125 is, it's always like we have the conversation, who's going to take middle? Mm-hmm. And there's one alliance that just has a lot of spenders, a lot of plasma 5. Like, if you were facing them in res raid, you'd be like, oh crap, this is a loss. That's the kind of alliance that they are. And they're also, extremely active. Where they're, a bunch of them will wake up at odd hours to kind of play. So, it's always like a little tussle to be like, all right, we'll support you kind of thing, because at the end of the day, we all kind of want to win. And they give us the best chance to win. Frankly, they do.
Yeah.
So, they were doing that. They were doing their thing. They were attacking middle, and they were actually, we were putting up a really strong fight. And we won our SBS, and, the other, so we have a 3 top tier alliance, state where it's the top 3, and then it's a huge drop off. The number 4 can't really, number 4 can't really do anything. They, compared to the top 3. And it was fun. We had our 1 tower, the other alliance, the number 2 alliance had their 1 tower, and we just kind of went to town, and we helped out as much as we could, and we did our thing, and we got the W, and that was that, and I was basically base hitting to get points, and was like, wow, I'm hitting like a 2-star and just exploding up the point board, while someone that's been here since 3 a.m. my time is not even halfway up, controlling center. So it was like, it was weird. I'm getting the benefit of attacking a 2-star base and them suffering 110,000 losses, and I'm getting 13,000 losses. and I'm just rifling up the leaderboard. So it was nice. And they were like, "Can you stop? I've been up all day. I've been up all day, and you're just coming in now, and you're already way the hell up." And I was like, "I'm sorry that I wake up at 7 in the morning Eastern Standard Time, which is 4 hours after it starts, and then I'm completely like right where they are when they started." So the point thing is a big issue. That's something, that's got to benefit. You also get less points if, say, they're not reinforcing middle completely, because you, as the towers fire, you only get a point of how many wounded you're giving them. But if they're not reinforcing middle and they've only got 30,000 troops in there or 50,000 troops, you're only getting the 2% of those 50,000 and not the complete full war as if they were going at it. So you can kind of trick the system if you have, like, if there are people out there that you're in the center and you're just like, no one can beat us. And if someone's really coming for it, we'll just speed in our reins and kind of like take it back, or, buff up then, and then start kicking people out. So this way, not that many people are getting damaged. You can kind of really game the system in that way. So there are a bunch of tough things, but it was fun. It was fun. We want to get to an older state, and we thought we were going to have a tough time. But, we have 4 maxed accounts for right now, because the PTR is foreshadowing a new level of max, which is scary, and unfortunately, I don't think the cry is going to be that loud for this one, because, people are going to be like, oh yeah, well, it's going to cost you more to like be maxed again. I don't think that's going to hit people as much as the Plasma Institute.
Yeah, but no, this is going to hit. You're talking about the gear?
Yeah, Chief gear is going up another 2 levels.
I mean, and that's going to be, actually, to be honest, I think that's going to be more of a harder hit than the Plasma will be, as far as like the gear difference. I mean, people don't realize how much stats that changes the whole thing. If somebody has T11 and that gear, which they're going to, it's going to just, I mean, there's just, I don't even want to look at it. I don't even look at that.
And it's not like it's just a little bit, but it's 2 big levels.
Oh yeah.
For all 6 pieces of your gear. And I think it's way too much, to the point where it's like, I don't think I'm going to do it, because as it is right now in the res raids that I do, my stats are already, like much higher than a lot of the other people. When I go and I'm like taking a base, I'm like, my top versus your top, and I'm unbuffed, and I'll see their stats and then they'll buff up and I'm still winning, is pretty crazy. And now that 2 more levels of Chief gear is coming, and I know that people haven't really matched where I'm already at, I think it's going to be, it's going to be like a meh. I don't feel the need to do it. There are going to be certain people that do it, because there's always someone that buys it, but I just don't feel like it's a big enough hook for a player like myself, because I'm 334 days consecutive at this point. And in order for me to kind of extend that much more level of investment, I need to know that the game is going to be there at 627 days, consecutive.
Yeah, and that much investment.
Yeah, I don't see that that's a reality. My state's already fallen apart at 334 days, and we just played an older state that was not even at the level that we're at. So they're already seeing the timeline of a state. How long does a state actually stay active? And I feel like that level is somewhere between 280 to probably 320. It's probably like the sweet spot. And that's probably being very generous. Generous. I think you just, when you take that into account, you just kind of like, if the game's going to match me with who it matches me with anyway, what's the point? So.
A lot of people in chat, when we started talking about that, they started blowing up here. It said, talking about Chief Gears. Sin said 1,000% troop tech incoming soon. And then Shalom said, agreed, the gears make a huge difference. I know free-to-play players who are so disheartened. And then Froggy said the devs are going too far. And
a lot.
Tyrant said he thinks he'll wait as well on the gear. But Sin also said that with the event, it's going to be good for the little guys, though. Those free designs will help the lower people keep the gap around the same. I don't know, dude. I think even with the free gear design,
the little guys, it doesn't matter. If there's a gap, the little guys aren't useful. It's just the way it is. Like I've come to realize that about my own base. If I have a gap between myself and about the top, like let's say about 3 or 4 people, right? Because maybe that's how many you need from a rally. But in actuality, it's about like the top 1 or 2 in your alliance that really matter. If there is a gap between your stats and theirs, your stats don't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a little less. It doesn't matter if it's a lot less. Your stats are worthless.
Yeah.
What you need is troops in order to help with the rally. So it's nice to get it. It's nice to get the upgrades. I want to get the tactical designs on my account as well. But it's completely useless. Like my stats are almost never used except in a very limited scenario with like Capital Clash, where I will lead a rally just because I'm the only one with like an HQ, or not an HQ, but a level 30 command center. So I have the largest march size. So I can lead that. And then I use whatever stats I have, right? That's where it comes in. Free to play that are worried about their stats are not playing the game correctly unless they are like in a completely free-to-play alliance and they are the top one in their alliance. And then they have the pressure of trying to keep their stats up. But at the high-end competitive, if you're a free-to-play in a high-end alliance, you're going to have a spender in there. That spender is just going to be better stats than you. So your stats don't matter. It'll be nice to get the designs. Don't get me wrong. I'll be very happy to get more designs to up my chief gear and stuff. But my chief gear is worthless. Like, it helps me with plague zones, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Like, outside of plague zones, it's like, okay, well, I'll attack someone, but it is what it is. It doesn't really matter too much, so.
Yeah.
I saw someone put out there, like, each level. So there's 2 new levels of Chief Gear coming out, and they're virtually worth, like, 6 months of a free-to-play time. So each level, and there's 2 for each piece. You know, that's an incredible amount. And unless they came out with a way to recycle the things that you already have, like I've got multiple of the same permanent marches that I'm not using. I'm using, you know, tactical maps. I have more than even if they came out with like the 2 new levels, I have enough tactical maps to actually go 4 new levels. I have so many tactical maps because I spent incorrectly. Unfortunately, that just goes to show you that it's not just spending, it's spending the right way.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, I spent the wrong way. I was like, oh, I'll just spend on these because these are the ones that I have to pay for, and I'll just use them eventually, and not realizing that, you know, everything kind of scales up incrementally. So that was tough, and I think, you know, if I could trade some of those back in for some of the pieces. Now, the pieces that I don't have, I can buy with caps, you know, but the only way to really get caps is to literally just buy more bundles, you know? So then it's just like, oh, you get back in that. Now the custom size bundles, you know, and like the crates of choice and things of that nature don't come with caps. So you're back to force spending on things that you don't necessarily need to get to that level. And it's just a big thing. I don't know. You know, I just don't see it.
Gaiden said, good on you, Delete. I'm sitting out Immortal Gear on principle, too.
Right? Do it.
Let's see. There's a couple questions. Let's see. One of them was... I'm trying to find it.
I have the questions, though.
Oh,
you want me to
yeah. I thought that Apex put one up without question in front of it, so I wanted to make sure we got...
Well, Apex put up a comment, and I'll bring that up now only because I know Delete's talked about this before, and I can comment on it from the RSG perspective. So Apex put in, honestly, being top in RSG is starting to get slightly stressful because every rally, everyone looks at me to lead it, and I can't always be there. So Delete has talked about this before, and I'll let him talk about it again. Here's the other thing. Apex, I'm just going to be honest with you. You are the first person looking for a fight every
time.
Single time. You are looking for every fight. You're looking for every way to annoy someone. So, of course, when there is a bunker or a facility or a center or a fight, we tag you.
Yeah, it's true.
Apex
comes online and says,
with the biggest
who's ready to die?
Every single time.
Yeah, that's his online. Who's ready to die? You want to kill something?
Yeah. You're like ready to burn and kill and like replace Daedric at the top. Like that's the reason why we tag you so much, is because your first thing is like, I want to burn and kill these people, and you're like aiming to like burn and kill like everyone at the top. So of course, like if you're not there, we're not burning anyone at the top. Like you're a Plasma 5. I think our next one is Plasma 3 with Maz. And I mean, we were handling centers and everything, but because you've done so much, we want to keep you competitive so we can help you. That's pretty much what it is. It's not really to put pressure. It's just the way the situation is. And Delete can comment on that, because I know that's like the situation in 125.
Yeah, it's hard. You know, being a max account is it's a different feeling, you know, because there's so much. You know, I have literally, Law has 87 active members, give or take, probably about 4 or 5, depending on what's going on in real life. Because in Law, we stress real life first. You know, I mean, this is a game. You know, this is a game that you're, you know, supposed to just kind of like get rid of stress with, you know. But when you're a maxed account and everyone's just like, hey, you gonna launch another rally? You gonna launch another rally? Let me know before you launch another rally, because there is literally a race every time I launch a rally. And when as soon as I pop up,
like 2 seconds, it's full.
Oh yeah, it's gone. It's gone. It sells. It sells faster than anything else. It'll sell faster than the last air on Earth. You know, my people trying to join my rally. The only thing that goes faster than that is probably my rally in Trap. You know, my rally in Trap really goes fast, because that's everyone's on trying to kind of put it in, and it is pressure, because you're just like, dude, what if I don't show up? You know, what is everyone going to do? They're going to be pissed, you know? And I'm like, I try to not take that stance, because then the game starts to feel like a job. And as soon as a game feels like a job, you tend to not want to play the game, you know? And that's the last thing that you want to kind of fall into, you know? And I'm the first person to tell people, like, I enjoy sleep. I have a family. I love my family. I love my Law family very, very much, but it's not as close to my real family.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's gotta be that, you know, so you gotta set expectations, and you do what you can.
And we really tried hard in 359 to not create the same situation that we had in 125 with you, Delete. Because, like, I honestly, Delete knows better than anybody. I am constantly on him about, like, don't do this. Don't make yourself the person that everybody's game enjoyment is dependent on, because it takes the fun out of it for him. Like, because he's so worried about everybody else being able to play because they're so dependent on him. And granted, he's just that type of guy. He is just a good guy. He wants to help people, but it's also supposed to be your release and your fun. This is not supposed to be your second job. It should be fun. So Apex, and I'll tell everybody in our alliance, like, that's why I don't want us to get to that over rank 10. I don't want us to. Everybody's like, oh, we're going for, you know, we're at rank 12 and 11 now. I don't want us to go past that, because I like just, you know, the casual play that we have going on. We're not so casual that it's not fun. We're still competitive, but we're not so invested to the point where, like, people have to feel like they have to be on all the time. So that's why I like RSG and 359. So yeah, you have to be really careful with that, or else you're going to end up like poor Delete here, the weight of the world on his shoulders. Like, we can't do anything in 125 if Delete's not on. Like, nothing. No one in Law can do anything if Delete is not on. Colo,
and I love my number 2. I love my number 2. My number 2
awesome.
Is my boy.
Yeah,
he
Colo
is so solid.
Fantastic.
He is a warrior.
But he's,
and I'm like, dude,
honest with his stuff, though, too. He's honest with his limitations. He's like, no, we need Delete. I'm sorry, I can't do it. And he's fine with it. He'll tag him a couple times, and I'll say, Delete is making bacon for his family. He can't come on right now. Like, that's what I have to say. So
he is the best battering ram I've ever had. He's just like, I'll soften him up. You go for the kill. We both get points. We're good to go. And I'm like, Colo, as soon as that lands, I want you sending your march back in so you're in. And I will boot someone to get you back in. So that's how we roll, like that's the scenario in which we play in 125. And it's like, okay, like now with the secondary troops, like I can appoint him leader. And he'll use his like heroes that have the stronger skills while my stats overtake. So this way, when we're in there, it'll be like, wow, it's going to take 2 or 3 strong rallies to knock us out at that point.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it. I don't know if I like that part of the game. Like I don't know if I like it. Because now it's just like, okay, if you're in there, it takes 2 rallies to take you out. If you're not in there, if you're not in there, it's really hard. You're going to have to dance a little. You're going to have to set multiple rallies, and you're going to have to make sure that everyone's lined up right, and you kind of go from there. Because even the troop makeup inside of a building, that used to make it where it was like, if this isn't lined up right, you're going to lose. Troop makeup really doesn't matter anymore a lot with the new skills and the way that, you can kind of portray your heroes in one and make your secondary, the lead, and kind of go from that way. It kind of doesn't matter as much, and that used to be like, okay, they're 75% infantry. If we go heavier hunter and rider and kind of level that out to like 65, I think we can do it. That conversation's completely gone. Yeah. Now it's just like, dude, all right, what's your march time? All right, great. We're going to launch at the same time and we'll win it. It's kind of like...
It's not as fun. The game strategy isn't there as much as it used to be.
As much as we wanted a way for secondary people to get into the game, I don't think this is it.
Yeah. Shalom also said, I escaped the game to have fun, but wow, sometimes I want to run for the game back to real life to have fun these days. And then Tyrant says that sometimes it really feels like a job that you pay to work at. Like you're paying to work at this job. So guys, my advice as somebody who doesn't take the game quite as seriously as maybe Delete and some others, find your joy. Find your joy playing the game. Like if you're not having fun where you're playing, then go find another state that you enjoy playing. Find another casual guild. Like I have one of my really good friends that started playing with along at the beginning of the state. His name was Jack, and he was the powerhouse of the state along with Delete. He was really big. He had a really good account, and he did exactly what is going on that I see with you guys. He got burnt out on the stress of it. He just got burnt out, and he just flat out quit the game altogether. So before you flat out quit the game, just tell everybody, I gotta go. This is not fun for me anymore, and I'm bouncing out to another state, or I'm going to another guild where I can help out helping them get to a certain trap level, or whatever you need to do that you get fun in, and you're not so there's not so much pressure. Come play with us on 359. I mean, we have fun.
Him quitting the game hurt me almost as much as it hurt everybody else.
It did.
Hey, I got blamed. For him quitting. Everyone was like, "Oh, you came in, and now he's just quitting because he's and this and that." And I was just like, "Dude, I didn't do it. I told him I would leave." It started this whole like drama cycle that was just so unnecessary, and I was just like, I can't make anyone play or not play the game. I'm going to play as I play, and if they want to play different, then that's up to them.
Yeah.
It's the beauty of the game. I mean, you literally could be Daedric, spend a lot of money on killing 2 billion troops, or you can be me and not kill that many troops, but hold a lot more like weight in the state, if you will.
Yeah.
And it's like, still, the other thing that's really tiring is people will come to me and be like, this dude is such a jerk. Can you destroy him for me?
Can you do something about it? Yeah.
Can can you just step in and just destroy him for me? It would be so great if you could just do this. And I'd be like,
now you're the police officer. You're basically the cop of the state.
Not my problem. I've got my own issues. And people are like, oh, why even have your base if you're not going to use it? So it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like winning the lotto. People look at me and they're like, if you just gave me $1 million, I would be so good. And you just won $1 billion. You just won $1 billion. So if you gave me $1 million, I'd be so good.
Yeah, right.
And it's so not like that. It's so not like that.
So somebody said something about the new gear and how this is going to change things. But you know what? There's a good point that we didn't bring up is that this is still in PTR. This is still not out. So they may change that up a bit. You know how they postponed the T11 and reworked that a little bit, change some of the pricing on the plasma needed for it. So they may change a lot of it. So everything that we were talking about is all speculation, just putting that out there, guys, that, you know, this
PTR
is what's in the PTR.
It's not locked in.
But it's not locked in. They're testing it and seeing the reaction. So I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of feedback on that about how it's a little bit scary for a lot of people. So hopefully it won't be too, won't be as bad. I'm hoping that they only release one level of gear. That would be good. What do you guys think? Just one versus two? I mean, I think it's too soon altogether. They shouldn't do it at all. But if they're going to, maybe they won't do it 2 levels.
No, they'll release something, because as soon as you hit somebody that gets the max level, you want to introduce something else. It doesn't matter what the majority of the people got. If there is somebody that has maxed out, right, the more percentage there is of maxed out players, that's when they'll introduce the new gear. So they have to introduce at least one. So I think they have to introduce at least one. 2 might be too much, just depending on how much you need for it. So
yeah, true.
Okay, let's do questions.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to bring up. I should probably wait for Delete to come back. I wanted to tell him about Daedric. Do you know Daedric lost his number 1 killer spot?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to rag him a little bit. I need to send him.
Daedric said it last time. Like, he's not doing it anymore.
He's
I
not.
don't know if
yeah, he said he's lost that killer instinct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean,
Daedric lost number 1 spot in killer spot.
Mm-hmm. I saw, and he's just kind of like, you know, he's just been so mad about it.
Yeah,
and I was just
he
like,
doesn't really care.
But you also have to understand how much hate you will getting that much kills in your state. No matter how nice of a person you are, no matter how nice you can be about it, 2 billion kills is just an extraordinary amount
people
to
are gonna
inflict
hate you, no matter what.
on your own state.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're going and you're like, all right, I'm 5-star plasma maxed out and I'm hitting a 2-star, I'm creating basically 100,000 in losses.
Yeah. And he wasn't nice about it either. He was wrecking anybody and everybody.
No.
So like, I mean,
you know, I would imagine that like Daedric got there by being a level 30, you know, and attacking people that are probably at level 22. You know, it's just the only way to get there is to really rack it up. You know, you're not doing that to equal level competition. You're doing that by people that are just casually playing the game.
Yeah.
And you're creating a lot of dead space, because if someone wakes up and they see that they've lost 385,000 troops when they had 420,000 troops, that means that you cannot do a play zone. You can't join trap. You cannot farm. You cannot farm.
Yeah.
Your base is completely
a long time
gray.
to recoup from that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the pack that they give you when you're like, wow, you just suffered some losses. Let me go ahead and give you this $5 pack. That's an exceptional value. So you don't quit the game.
Yeah.
Even if you buy that, you're still not anywhere close to anything.
Yeah. Somebody made a good point that Daedric's kills have all been his state, where the other guy that overtook him was SVS kills too. Like a lot of that was SVS, and Daedric doesn't play SVS. So if Daedric was playing SVS really hard, who knows what would happen? But yeah, it was all
it was all hardcore bundle buys, hardcore spend right there.
Yeah.
So the new person is a definite asterisk.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. Let's get some questions. Do you want to do the giveaway, or do you want to wait till the end?
Let's do it after the questions, but we can give away the other code now.
Oh yeah, the code. This is the code. The other code is Ms. Misfit. Ms. Misfit. So that is MZ Misfit.
Don't even spell out the rest. Just MZ Misfit.
I don't need to. It's Misfit. Everybody can spell Misfit.
I thought you were going to be spelling out the whole thing.
If you look at the code, it looks like a
Ms.
2.
Misfit.
I was saying
MZ Misfit.
Because if you read the code on the stream, it looks like a 2 instead of a Z. That's just the way that font does. So I was spelling it for him. Then I'm going to beat you. Stop it. Stop it.
Everyone, let's spell Ms. Misfit. M-Z Misfit.
I'm going to smack you.
All right. All right. Let's get to questions. All right, we have 3 questions here, and then we'll do the giveaway to wrap up the stream here. So first question, Eric B. And question is, once I upgrade headquarters to Plasma 5, should I focus on getting troops and precinct to Plasma 5 and then Plasma Institute, or troops then Institute?
Well, you need get to T11. Get to T11. I mean, that's the dream scenario, because T11s are pretty damn strong. And then once you can kind of get there, then you can kind of upgrade troops and really get there. I mean, I'm also telling people, go ahead and just spend 3,000 plasma on T11. I mean, if you had a perfect scenario, that's it. But you have to build within your means is basically the way that you're kind of you have to do it. Don't force anything if you don't have to.
So I don't even know. Explain to me how this works. So obviously I'm nowhere near Plasma 5. So it's Plasma 5. You get your troop training and your precinct up to P5. And then to get the T11, do you have to build the Plasma Institute, or do you just go up to the next?
Yeah. And you have to build the Plasma Institute up to Plasma 5. Okay. Like it was a hero precinct.
So go ahead and get your hero precinct and your troops up to P5, then your institute, and then work on your other stuff. Okay.
Yeah. And I think because when I did it, you can actually work on your Plasma Institute, and you can just be Plasma 1 on your Institute and actually start doing your research. You don't have to be like Plasma 5 in your Plasma Institute before you can start doing stuff, but it'll stop your breakdown. Like there's there's the 1 bubble, 2 bubble, and then the 3rd bubble is T11. Like where it branches out, comes back in, branches out, comes back in. So yeah. And that would be something where you're like looking at your competition to where you see weaknesses or where you have to match their strengths. And if they're like all infantry, go all infantry. If they're, minusing something and they don't have like Roxy, ranked up and their hunters are kind of weak, go hunter. Find the weakness and kind of exploit it, but if anything, match their strength. If you were beating them before Plasma Institute came out, match their strength and you'll start beating them again.
Next question, Finn.
Okay. Next question from Eric B. When will all states have a hero academy? It's quite a disadvantage when you're facing states with this option and you don't.
Oh, man.
True answer? They won't.
They're not going to do that.
Because the problem is the new states with the hero academy only have to level up 3 heroes. Yeah. The older states have spent money in order to get the troop books, the XP books, in order to train their heroes. So providing the Hero Academy in the same way that the new state has would completely destroy the fact that people spent money on their game for the XP. What they can do, however, is introduce the Hero Reset. I've said this before. The Hero Reset is something that they could introduce so you don't lose that XP. You simply just shift it.
You just redistribute it.
You redistribute all of your XP and make it that way. Mm-hmm. I don't think you're ever going to get the academy, though, like the training area where your heroes are going to level up based on your top 3 heroes. That just, unfortunately, it just doesn't work from the perspective that people spent on something to get to the point they did already.
Yeah, it's just like introducing all the stuff to the old. Like, I don't feel like they're going to introduce like analysis centers and things like that. They're not going to do any of the things in the older states. I feel like they're going to focus on migration first, because then, okay, question, this brings up a good point. For those people that are migrating, if they do bring up migration, will they transition them into a new state with that new state's attributes, or will they keep theirs? Like, what if they wanted to move to a state with Hero Precinct and they're one of the older states?
Truth is, it depends on how they want to do it, right? We've had like discussions of probably like 5 to 10 different ways that they could do the migration. Each one has its own like complexity, its own ways of doing things. It's hard to know without knowing what direction they're going.
Yeah.
They could do it either way. It just depends on what direction they're going.
That would be interesting.
I've heard like you get to like the ideas that I've heard that really make the most sense is like if you go to a new state, you get to go to a new state and your account is reverted back to where you were at the same point. So if you go to a state that's 120 days old, you go to a state that basically where your base was at 120 days. Now they would probably like recoup you. I would imagine they would have to recoup you in caps or like something where you wouldn't have to spend for a while. So if like something else popped up or something, because it can't take away the value that you had unless they, I don't know.
The problem is even if they give you caps, they're inflating your value to that same level, right? So you're almost coming in, let's say Plasma 5 equivalent in resources, even though you may just be a 20, like an HQ 28, you have enough biocaps to do all kinds of craziness. So, I mean, it would have to be something that you would have to sign like a waiver for, basically saying you understand that you are reverting your account. Or the other option is kind of like what I mentioned before, which I think makes, unfortunately, the most sense, but it's also maybe a little more complicated, is that you move as an alliance. And the alliance moves together and they try to balance out a new state based on the number of alliances and basically create a distribution similar to what the current states have. They probably have all of the stats. What does the top alliance have? What is that the second percentage of the first? What is the third percentage of the first? And they have a breakdown. You could ask all of the alliances to queue up in some kind of process, and anyone in that alliance would have to move over. They would need to buy whatever it is, like the transfer token, and that alliance then shifts over based on how many get queued.
To match you like a res raid.
Exactly.
Like if you were a free-to-play alliance that just decided to move, it would match you in another free-to-play alliance or that.
But
level.
You may end up with the top dogs too, right? So the idea is that you get the full distribution. So you get like the top dog, you get some of the free-to-play, you get some of the mid spenders,
a bottom.
Exactly. So you get kind of a fresh new state as if you had been playing for, let's say, 300 days, right? But you get this new state with all of these different distributions. So again, the problem is it gets complicated because you need to hope that there's enough alliances that queue up, and you have to figure out when they do it. So you also have to have the disclaimer, like it's not necessarily we're waiting until we get the people in order to migrate you. Until then, you have to stay in your own state, and then so you don't have a timeline. Like there is unfortunately a lot of complexity with migration. There's not going to be a perfect answer. Their goal is to try and minimize the negative, though. We're, of course, going to end up focusing on the negative because that's what impacts players the most. If it doesn't impact it, great. If it impacts it, players will bring it up and you'll see the complaints and all of that. So we'll see how it works. But to answer your question, McVenom, it's hard to know without knowing exactly the way that they're going to go about it. So
yeah, because I've heard I've heard we're just going to merge, 125 with 126, and 124 with 123. And
it doesn't work because of the territory of the towers. It just logistically, it's not going to work because you guys have positioned yourself in one way, like around capital, right? Whoever's in 126 has positioned themselves around the capital. You merge it. What is going to happen to the capital? Where's everyone going to get merged? Where's your towers going to be? Where they're there's too many logistics for this to actually just be like that simple. So we'll like I said, they'll come up with something because they need to. I'm sure they understand. They need to come up with a solution to get older states more involved. But unfortunately, right now, it's just like, we're just waiting to see what decision they're doing. And I'm okay with it because I'd rather them take more time and make the correct decision rather than hastily try to merge things together and just destroy it. So,
yeah. I mean, they seem very hesitant to kind of, obviously they're researching it, and I think the biggest part of this game is the amount of data that they can because they have over 600 states now. I think it's actually even higher than 600, probably closer to 7 than 6. They can see what's working and what's not at this point. They can totally take a look at the activity of the daily people, the activity of the people that log in once, coming back from 8 days, not playing the game, and so on and so forth. They can see that activity and kind of gauge it out to kind of go and plan out the next scenario more than anything else. Using that data is probably the most beneficial thing. I think, I think they may be even worried, like, all right, so say everyone in, Fury State or LDN kind of want to go ahead and shift to something else. They're creating like a super monster, but even if they did, I still don't think even that same super monster alliance would probably split apart.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if you've got 5 rally leads in your state that are really, really strong and they're all pretty equal, why wouldn't they take their own alliance and kind of make it more competitive? That way, Yeah. That's the way that I would want to play it, more than anything else. Restart the dynamic. It's supposed to just be like, oh, I'm your 4th best rally lead. Meh. I'll go be rally lead number 1, and see who I can take with me. Oh, you're taking them? And start that whole thing back over again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm waiting for it.
Yeah.
If it was my job to figure it out, if it was my game that was making millions of dollars on, I'd probably figure it out a little bit more.
Outsell it. I'll try to sell the game first and let somebody else do it. I'll just throw that out there. And Sin is saying it's not going to work that way if they potentially wipe out the territory and make you place your hives again. That would be a strategy where if they combine like 125 and 126, they basically reset all of your towers and you have to start building, right? That's going to cause, I can say it right now, SVS, one of the most difficult things is the fact that it starts at like 5 a.m. Eastern time. And for other people, it's like 2 a.m. Pacific time, right? So it's just a pain in the butt. The time sometimes for these things, even like some of the centers and stuff, because you have to pick 3, but some of them are just like, my alliance isn't set up to really do anything at those times. It's just like super inconvenient. Can you imagine if they did something like that, where it's basically like 5 a.m. Eastern or 2 a.m. Central, or 2 a.m. Pacific? Everybody get on the game. We have to start building towers to expand our territory. We're getting a merger. Like, it's going to be like I understand that may be the direction because the game has already set that as a precedent with SBS, but it's not a pleasant scenario. It's actually one of the things I dislike the most about the game.
I would also like to know, like, which time zone is the most active for them.
Yeah.
Because why in the world would you make it those times out of everything? Out of anything that you can do and keep it those times.
I have a theory why they have it, because that's when they're actively on to monitor if things go wrong, or because that's their time zone. If King's group is That's their daytime work time. That's when they're in there to monitor issues that might come up.
Yeah. Wow.
Sorry, I've been bouncing in and out. I've been gone all weekend, so the kids are like still running around the house. 10:30 at night. I walked in the door and Mr. McVenum's like, "Oh, thank gosh you're here. Take care of the kids." And I'm like, "Nope, sorry, I gotta go stream." So they're just like all over the place, bouncing in and out of the door. So
Mr. McVenum is an angel because I'd be like, no.
Yeah, he is an angel.
No.
All right,
Unless you're streaming,
question.
playing board games with them.
I think we have one more question that I had queued up. Maybe somebody else. No, we have one more question, and then we'll do the giveaway. So, question from Apex. He said, would it be better to upgrade all my chief gear to Dominator, or just get my infantry to Dominator, then hoard the rest to get that red to then go back to others?
Say that again one more time.
So would it be better to upgrade all of my chief gear to Dominator, or just upgrade the chief gear for infantry and then hoard the rest to get the new red gear early and then go back to the others?
Oh, you mean just get one piece for the red gear and then go back and equal them all up later?
Yeah, finish off the infantry,
I would think
chief gear,
all across
and
the
then go
board
back.
level up all of them to Dominator, wouldn't you? I mean, that's me.
You have to.
I would think so.
So, and there was something that I tried, and it actually worked. I feel like it was 3 or 4 SPSs ago. So battle mechanics were completely different. But I found that I couldn't beat this player Hulk in this other state if I didn't put in 100% infantry for my spot as top rally lead, right? So what happened was I did 100% infantry. Everyone else did this 65 or 70% and 15 and 15 to basically win. But if I didn't do that, if I didn't put my 100% in, we wouldn't win. So my strongest infantry would go ahead, take 100% of the damage. Like, we would win the tower, but I wouldn't even be in because every one of my infantry troops was wounded every time. But we would win the overall situation. So I would go ahead and then have to reinforce the winning group and then kind of rejoin. So that was a while ago, though. You know, I don't think that play is actually going to work anymore. Like, and I thought about doing that with like, all right, so I've got T11s. A lot of people don't have T11s. What if I go ahead and just put in 100% hunter, where my hunters are doing so much more damage, you know, to their infantry, where maybe we can kind of, you know, just kind of slide right in there. You know, the game still looks for the easiest out, you know, if you will. Well, and at the time when I did that, it was still kind of like infantry is the most important. So I would definitely upgrade your gear somewhat equally. You know,
your rally your joiners too are still depending on your stats from all of those equally. So if you only focused on infantry and we're still trying to, like you said, you were putting in more infantry to try to soak it up, they wouldn't have as much damage output unless, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think
but I think his question is also asking more about the new gear as well. If the new chief gear levels are enough to warrant ignoring the other ones for a little while. Are the stat increases in the new chief gear worth it? Over, let's say,
no.
Instead of taking Dominator for riders, you're better off saving up for infantry
red and then going back to Dominator for riders.
Yeah.
I think that's what he said.
It was like an extra 26%, you know, which is a lot when you're going max against max, you know, but like you're better off going all gold and then doing one piece, you know, than saving it all, hoarding it all.
Okay. There you go. So the answer is go all Dominator.
Yeah, I don't even think the game would allow you to be like purple in for the things and gold and everything else. I think it probably force you to kind of go back and be like, oh, you can't go red in this until this is gold, you know?
Okay. That's it. To McVenom. Do you have a... Okay, so are you ready?
Yeah, what should be...
Like, Adam is like lost in her own thoughts and everything.
I'm reading chat and I'm just trying to follow about the gear stuff, so...
Okay, so here's what's going to happen, guys. We are doing a giveaway of the hoodie that is on the stream. So everyone get ready on your keyboard. McVenom is going to say a word. She'll spell it for you as well. As soon as she says it, I'm going to be grabbing those names off of Nightbot. You will have...
Oh, sorry. I was trying to get the code ready.
Do it in studio mode.
I know, I forgot studio mode.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
There we go.
Pro stream.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that was...
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, it's my fault. You can go back go through your spiel.
Okay, let's try this again. So, when McVenom says the word, okay, it'll show up on the screen. You'll have 1 minute in order to get in the word. I will tell you when that minute is over. Okay? Once that minute is over, I will go through, get the names from the bot, and then we will pick one winner. That winner should message McVenom on Discord in the next, we'll say 48 hours. She'll confirm that you are the person in chat that won. We know most of you guys on Discord anyways, but we will confirm you are that person, and then we will get your address and then mail you a RSG logo hoodie. We'll get the information about the size and all that for you. So, McVenom, when you're ready.
Oh, there we go. I'm putting in the code so it flashes up so I won't have to spell it. How about that? Look at me getting all pro streamer doing codes on the fly.
Okay.
Okay, let me see if I can do it. Oh, look, I did it.
Okay.
The code word is zombie. Very original, I know, but I figured with our little zombie coffee, it's our theme. So if everybody types in the word zombie.
So get zombie into the chat. We're currently 15 seconds in, which means 45 seconds are left. So if you guys want a chance to get the hoodie, go ahead and type zombie in chat. Now is the time to do it.
Do they get extra credit for all capitals?
No.
No. Ooh.
Extra credit for
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people up for it already.
Do it.
You guys make sure.
Do it. Don't be afraid to join.
I'm excited to see who wins. This is
Me
fun.
too. Fury.
All right. 10 seconds left. There are 10 seconds left.
You're just a sweet little angel, Fury.
Fury,
And
you gotta
5,
put zombie in
4,
there, girl.
3, 2, 1, and it is done. So I will collect the names now of everyone that typed it. So let me go ahead and get that.
Are you doing your like random number generator thing
I will
for
do
your
a random
D&D
number
stuff?
generator. Yep.
I always love it.
I will tell you how many people we have.
And the winner happens to be posting in the 69th second of the stream. I'm just kidding. That would have been so funny. Oh,
Okay,
oh,
so,
69. Yeah, well, yeah, I did see Zoe, by the way.
She was typing different things. She didn't announce it until afterwards. So give her a break. She's working on things. Okay, so we have 10 possible winners.
Oh my gosh, this is exciting.
So,
Oh.
let me go over here. And the winner is lucky number 2. And number 2 is Daniel T.
Daniel T.
Oh, Daniel T.
Wait a minute, I didn't even see him in the. There he is! Oh my gosh, there's Daniel T. Nice.
At 10:29
I didn't see
p.m.
his name put in there. Nice. Well done, Daniel T. So you get this cool. I can zoom it up.
Congratulations to Daniel T. Make sure you're on our Discord. If you're not, !Discord in the chat. We'll bring up the link. Message McVenom. We'll confirm that you are Daniel T and all that kind of stuff. And then we will get your information to send you one of the RSG hoodies.
Yeah. Send me your size. Or I'll order you one like I'm going to order Delete and a small.
Small might fit. I'm on the January slim down, so.
Yeah, I'm on that. I got a yoga ball and a yoga mat for Christmas. Do you know how many times I've used it?
Wow.
Once
Someone's trying to tell you
to move it.
Up.
I asked
Someone's
for it.
Trying to get you to.
I asked for it. He would never do that. He knows better than that. He knows better than that.
God. Awful.
Oh, it's awful. Not telling you to lose weight. Just asking you to just.
Yeah.
I'm just
like
asking you to bounce on
Peloton
this ball
for her birthday. My gosh.
Oh, Peloton. I love my Peloton. This thing is dope.
Yeah.
It's motivation. It is.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got the COVID 15, if not more. We've got to work on it.
I don't see it. It must be in all the right places.
Oh no, it's there, buddy. It is there. Finn's met me. I'm an Amazon. I'm huge. I'm just a big girl.
You are not. You're as tall as I am.
But I'm very confident in that, and Matthew's just an awesome, just loves me the way I am. So it's more so about health than just like I don't have any more energy or stamina. So it's like, okay, maybe yoga's gonna help with that. Like I can't keep up with the kids anymore.
The Tyrant said I thought I won because I was a second. No, so when I do it, it changes around the order. So it randomizes it, and then I pick a random number. So, yeah. But it was number 2 on my list, and that is Daniel.
Finn, you broke the Tyrant's heart. So mean.
What?
I know. I was looking up for number 2.
Randomized
Number 2.
I know. I randomize everything.
Danny T.
No, Froggy, Zombie was not a gift code. Zombie was for the hoodie. Oh my gosh, my bag just fell. Zombie was for the hoodie giveaway. I'm telling you guys, I just rolled right in from Myrtle Beach, just dropping stuff everywhere.
That sounds like a bag that's going to cause you back.
It does. It's the yoga. This is why I need yoga.
You know what would help with that? Making sure that you stay awake with zombie coffee.
Finn?
What?
No.
Should we pick a backup winner just in case, like, Daniel T is like, I don't want to give you my personal information?
Daniel T just said I DM'd you.
Oh, yeah,
Discord.
he DM'd quick. Nice, Daniel T.
Well,
congrats on the win. It was fun. We should give a giveaway.
Yeah.
More
Yeah.
We'll get your information, Daniel, like your size and everything, and we will send you one of those hoodies.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, anything else we're going to talk about tonight, guys? I am tired.
No, I think that's it.
I know we went for an hour and a half. I know it's a shorter stream than usual, but it's Sunday night.
So, Apex, I saw your DM. I think what we'll do next time, though, is we'll have you on to have a bigger discussion about the merger. I think merger is a big issue. So if you're here on Friday, we'll bring you on so you can talk about WAO and how they did it. And we'll talk more about the merger because I think Daedric has also talked about it with Rise of Kingdoms. So it'll be a good idea just to have an idea of different styles. I think that'll be helpful. So.
Yeah. So also that being said about bringing Apex on, I can't wait to have him on. I also want to start having more guests from other kingdoms, like just meeting different people in the community, bringing more people on that that are not in our circle. What were you saying, Finn?
You said kingdoms?
Did I say kingdoms?
You did.
That's my Game of Thrones background. My Game of War. Game of War. We used to. That was what we called them. Instead of states, we called them kingdoms. Oh my gosh! It shows you how old I've been playing games like this. How long I've been playing them.
One of the best mornings I can remember. I walked into Penn Station. I commute into Manhattan, and there was a 6-piece string quartet or string, orchestra playing the the Game of Thrones like
nice.
song, and it was
man.
I am going to be late to my Monday morning meeting to
listen?
finish listening to this.
Oh, dude,
good.
I love doing that. Like the
oh
different
my God.
musical acts in Penn Station. Oh my God, I loved walking through there and just the random. Yeah,
I've never been to Penn Station. I need to go.
Oh, Jones, one of the worst places in the world.
It is.
It's one of the best places to live when you're homeless.
Hell. Yeah, you go there because you have to, but it's crowded as hell. But when you're walking around, you see some pretty interesting things.
I think that's what I would want to go. I want to go people watch.
At like 1 a.m, probably the best pizza you can ever find. And the slice is it's like this. It's huge. It's one slice is like, oh my God, I'm going to throw this up on the train. Which happens a lot. Nothing like seeing a cheese and bread Hershey Kiss throw up when you're trying to go home.
Delete. No.
And on that note, we are ending this episode of The Burger. Make sure you check us out on First Burke.
Check us out on First Burke. Welcome to The Burger. Thanks for joining in to The Burger. Guys, also, if you wanted to be a guest on the stream, please hit me up in my Discord, or actually hit up Finn, bug him. What?
Do you see what Apex just wrote?
No.
He just said, "Hey Finn, would you mind if I start a fight tonight? I need more res
so
I
This
can
is what we're talking about.
This is why we ask you every time we start on a center. Then you wonder it's it's stressful. That's why.
Yeah.
Damn it, Apex.
Anyway, guys, yes, if you would like to be on the stream, hit us up, Finn, Delete, or myself. Just kind of let us know what state you're from. Talk to you. We'll probably get you on stream a little before, or get you in a Discord voice just to kind of, feel you out, make sure you're not crazy. And, or maybe if you are crazy, we might like you even more.
Have you seen Apex?
Right. But, yes, so definitely message us, because we do want to start having some more guests on from different states and highlighting some other states. Also, I told someone I would give them a shout out because they were just awesome. The state that we played, 359, we played 358. Wasn't it 358 that we played? Mm-hmm. And we just had an amazing competitor there. There was an alliance called UWE. They were so much fun. And then they had this girl named Boston Babe. She came in, she gave us tickets. She was just so great, giving us all shout outs. So I told her that I would give her a shout out. Thank you, Boston Babe. You were excellent. Just a fun chick to play against. And we appreciate all the good times that we had. So, all right. Thank you, guys. We will see you next Friday, a regular time, at 9 p.m. Wait a minute. What is Friday? What is next Friday? What is the date?
It is...
3rd?
22nd.
22nd. Yep, we're good. So the 22nd, we'll see you on the 22nd, 9 p.m. We will see you guys then. Thanks. Stay safe. Happy hunting.
Rock on, Alan.
Rock on, Alan. Delete crop top.